Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Well, hello there, dear listeners. Hey now. Welcome to the Batman on Film Social Hour, episode number 66. I am the founder of Batman on Film. I don't need to tell that story about web TV again, do I, Ryan? Ron Lauer, everyone.
What's web TV?
It was this big box that you could hook your TV up to the interwebs.
Oh, that sounds neat.
Back in the day, instead of having a actual PC or laptop or Mac or whatever your preference is.
So it was
Big
a
box
in every home in America.
Yes, it went like this. It went, it was like telegraph, then telephone, and then web TV, something
Was
like
it
that.
a product of Nigmatech?
I believe it
Feeling
was.
some forever vibes here.
I believe it was. I can either confirm or deny that I had my brainwaves sucked out of my head while
We're
using a
laughing,
web
but
TV.
there's some kind of poetry there of like, actually, with the internet, maybe a little bit.
Yes. So, anyway, I'm Bill Ramey, and I did found Batman on Film back in 1998 on a web TV.
On a web TV.
Yes, it was called Jet D60's Batman 5-page. And
I think we had, I don't know if we had the internet in 1998. If we did, I wasn't using it much.
yeah,
I don't think I knew how to use it.
that
So
was
there you
my
go.
first experience, I think, with the internet was through that web TV. It was real handy. I mean, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
it was cheaper than a laptop or a desktop back then, and you could just hook it right up. Had the old dial up.
I don't remember even like.
Do you remember dial up? Did you have dial up?
Oh, yeah.
Or you've always had? Yeah.
And then we would have those nights where it wouldn't connect for some reason, and you were supposed to get online so you could chat with the friends that you were gonna see the next day at school, but it would be cool to talk to them on the internet, and you couldn't get online, so then it was killing you because the internet wasn't working. Oh my gosh, how far we've come.
Golly, yeah. Yep, that is true. So here we are. We're back for another edition of the Social Hour. And this episode is brought to you by Athletic Greens, and I'll talk more about Athletic Greens about halfway through. And what else do I have? We can include in this witty banter segment of the show.
Mid 80s yesterday. We were feeling like Texas in the
really?
Midwest, Bill. Yeah, it was hot.
Let me complain. I'm going
All
to
right,
complain
go for
just
it.
a little bit. Okay, last week we had 2 days where the lows were like at 50, and it was really nice. And then it was only like 75, 74. And then starting this latter part of last week in the weekend, well, here come the high 90s. I mean, we just went straight. We didn't even get low 90s. They just shot past that phase and went straight to the high 90s, where we're going to almost flirt with 100. And I'm
Wow.
looking at the forecast, and it's just 96, 97, 95, 90, and the low is only freaking 74, 75. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And so, and I don't know why I'm complaining. I've dealt with this for 56 years, and I am 56. So, here we go. So here we go. Texas weather, summer, hot as
Okay
Hades.
I'm only okay with that hot weather when I know that this is a water day. I'm
Yeah.
going to a lake or going to a pool or something. Then it's like, sure, bring on the heat.
I mean, I
care.
don't know why I really don't know why I complain, because I mean, I don't know any different, because that's what I've experienced. It is nice to go up to Minnesota in the summer, announcer Rachel.
Grav country.
But now it is Grav
Announcer Rachel country.
It is announcer Rachel country. And you go up to that, the Brainerd Lakes area where we will visit. Shout out to Breezy Point, Minnesota. And if I have anybody listening in the Brainerd Lakes area, email me. I want to hear from you. Anyway, when you get it there and it's like, it's in the 50s, it's July, and you get 50s in the morning, and it's, maybe you flirt with 80 in the evening. So I'm looking forward to going up to Minnesota this summer. Hopefully this summer, everything works out properly and we can head on up there for a week or two. So let's get to some Batman. All right.
Okay.
Get to some Batman. Is that all right? You want to talk some Batman this morning?
That sounds great.
Okay.
That sounds great.
All right. So the Batman is still on HBO. Well, it's on HBO Max. I don't know what's still. I meant to say it's still the big screen. You still go to the theater and see it. Limited number. I guess they've cut down the number of cinemas significantly, but you can still go see it. It's on HBO Max, of course. I've seen it about 10 plus times on HBO Max.
0 times on HBO Max.
You're still there. I mean, you're almost at the point, because I'm about to get into this right here. You can't see, but Ryan can see it. I'll talk about that in a second. I'll do this so you can hear it.
Yeah, there you go.
I have something in my hand, has something to do with the Batman. And I mean, I do like 99% of the cooking in this house.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I cook supper, dinner, we had that discussion. If it's supper or dinner, we're not going to do that again.
Yeah.
If I'm cooking in the afternoon, and I'll just put it on HBO Max and watch it. You've been to my house, so you know that for my kitchen, it's all open. So yeah, I'll just watch it. I've seen it about 10 plus times on HBO Max.
Not the last weekend, the weekend before. That was viewing number 7 on a Saturday morning. And
that's the record. That's the record, right?
It is. It's a new record. I did it. I was proud of myself. I walked out of there.
You gonna pad it a little bit? Go 8 or 9 times and pad the record, or are you good?
No, I don't think I'll get. I mean, it's taken 10 years to get close to my record, so I just don't. I think that's it. And so there's something also of walking out of there puffing my chest because it was my new record, but also knowing that you're seeing this movie for the last time in theaters too. I'm a total nerd here, but just like sit down and you just drink this movie in frame by frame this entire time, because this is the last time you're going to see it in a theater. Spoiler alert, it was awesome. But when I got out too, I'm like, I can wait for the Blu-ray now. Yeah. I'm less than 2 weeks now, so like I can hold out, and then I'll be, I'll go pretty crazy. But I think so. Best Buy, the Steelbook, Best Buy can kind of be known of your stuff can arrive early, a day, 2 days, 3 days early, and I'm hoping so, because actually on May 24th is when that's the day I'll be in office, and and I have a long commute and stuff, so it's like basically I gotta wake up before Bill Ramey does and be on the move, and then I won't get back until late that night. So that'll be torture of knowing all day. You get up for me. Yeah. That's quite a feat. Yeah, it's early. And this Batman on film brotherhood circle. You know what I mean? I think it's a running joke about with y'all.
I go to bed early and I get up super ass early. So
Bill's in bed by 5:30 at night.
yes.
He's up before the sun is. But
Yeah.
yeah, so if the stuff arrives on the day, it's gonna suck because I'm gonna be at work all day
Yeah.
knowing I've got the Batman at home.
Well, speaking of that,
Yeah.
as you can see, I have what in my hand?
You have the Batman
I have
Blu-ray.
the Batman Blu-ray combo pack, Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital. It was sent to me by the fine folks at Warner Brothers, and I'm going to get into this. I'm anxious to see if it looks better on the Blu-ray than it does on HBO Max.
Okay.
It clearly looks awesome on the big screen. And I will say, if I get it, if you waited for HBO Max, whatever, even though the Batman did great in theaters, but it's theatrical run. But I mean, obviously, there's it's nothing like seeing a movie on the big screen. I guess what I'm getting to. But I noticed it just seemed to be a little bit more toned down. You know, does that make sense? I mean, visually.
Well, so I just imagine too, and this is why for certain things, this is why I'm still a physical lover.
Yeah.
I've knocked down the amount of physical discs and stuff that I get, but a disc is like watching it through internet. It's a signal.
Yeah.
Whereas a disc is like, this is physical, and you have a cable running from your machine to the TV instead of a projection. So I know it's always going to be reliable on the picture.
Yeah.
By not streaming it.
Yeah.
And so I'm not smart enough to know technical aspects of a theater. It's still projector. So I don't know. I kind of feel the picture is going to be, I'm going to be so like,
because I'm like, big screen. I thought the Batman it was just awesome, aesthetically. And it's not there watching it through via HBO Max. And I'm curious to see if it looks a little better on the Blu-ray. I do want to see, there's like 2 hours of.
So there's a Vengeance in the Making documentary,
yes.
which I don't know how long that is, because everything together is supposed to be like 2 hours worth.
Yes.
So I imagine the making of documentary is probably like an hour.
What the
hour
hell?
15.
I've got the press release that came with it.
There you go.
You may just talk about it a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler free, Bill. Stick to your rules.
All right. Yes. Let's see. Okay. I'm looking to see any difference. All right. This talks about the digital. Okay. On the, it says the DVD. Okay. I'll show you. Look here. Open it up. And of course, you got your QR code and then the redemption code if you want to go through that. And then you have the Blu-ray, you have the DVD, and then there's a whole disc for the special features.
Nice.
Okay. And it talks over 2 hours of special features. The 4K combo pack and Blu-ray contain the following: Vengeance in the Making, Vengeance Meets Justice, The Batman Genesis, Becoming Catwoman. I saw that show up on Warner Brother YouTube actually last few days. Looking for Vengeance, Anatomy of the Car Chase, Anatomy of the Wingsuit, A Transformation, The Penguin, The Batmobile, Unpacking the Icons, and then deleted scenes with director's commentary. So that's apparently 2 hours of bonus features.
I'm excited for the Vengeance in the Making.
Yeah.
And now since it's available to rent and buy digitally, I think if you redeemed, I don't know if you ever watch anything through Apple or not, but not a lot of times if you get say you get a review copy of a disc, you can't redeem that digitally until the day of release.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could redeem it now and it would show up to where you could watch/listen to the Apple exclusive
Okay,
director commentary.
that's what it doesn't look like. Based on this stuff I got here, that there's not a director's commentary for the entire film, which
That's
bums
an
me
Apple.
out.
That's an Apple only thing.
So it means you would have to buy it through Apple, like Apple TV or whatever. I'm not an Apple person, so I'm not familiar with all of that. So,
well, if you have a lot of times, especially with Warner Brothers stuff too, that you get the digital code and it'll ask you of like, how do you want to redeem this through Apple or Vudu or whatever, and you choose your route, and you could choose Apple, and then you could watch open it up through Apple iPad, on an iPad, iPhone, Apple TV or whatever, and you could watch that way. So you don't have to buy it again. Yeah. Hopefully that's what they're including here.
Okay.
That's what but I mean, I think some people have already written articles of the commentary and stuff, but I just held off from reading it because I want to hear it myself.
Yeah, I did too. I guess I'll have to look and see if I have a Apple TV app on my TV, and then I'll try it because I really want to check out that commentary with Matt Reeves. So anyway, I'll have more about the Blu-ray in my review. I'll have a written review, and I'll probably talk about it again on a social hour.
You've got the Batman in your hands.
I do.
How about that? How's that feel?
Yes, feels awesome. It's on my TV as well. I just go through.
On HBO Max, did you watch the extras? So as you were reading the extras stuff, did you watch some of those?
I did not, because I wanted to wait to see what came on the Blu-ray. So gotcha. I held off. I just watched the movie.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of a
yes, you inspired me. Like that bat that flew through the window inspired Bruce Wayne. You inspired me as well.
All right.
But I am going to also give one of these away.
Woohoo.
Okay, it's it'll be once the film comes out. So
less than 2 weeks.
People still like to win stuff, so I'll have a giveaway for that. And speaking of giveaways, Batman on Film is also going to give away two copies of The Art of Batman. We talked about that a few episodes back. That's an awesome book. And if you don't have it, well, get a chance to win it from Batman on Film again. I already gave away one copy. And thanks to a very kind BOFer, one was donated, and then the other came, I guess we can say, through the Patreon folks, but I purchased it. Yeah, I purchased it through the Patreon funds, and ended up with an extra copy. So I got two. So we'll start. I'm gonna do the same thing here, Brian. I'm gonna sprinkle in these questions throughout. So to win, I'll pick two winners at random from all the entries. When you email me, jet@batman-on-film.com with answers to these 5 trivia questions. And here's question number 1. Who was the first actor to play Dick Grayson / Robin in live action? When I say live action, that means all of live action, okay? Who was the first actor to play Dick Grayson / Robin in live action? All right, that's question number 1. What else do I have? Anything before we get into these questions? Oh, I changed my ringtone. And I'm serious, 12 years. 12 years, Ryan. I've had the same ringtone through several different phones. Did you know what my ringtone was previously? I'll get you to call me back in just a second. What do you want to guess what my ringtone was for 12 years? Since 2008. 8. Is that 12? Or is that 14 years? How long has it been since The Dark Knight? 14 years? Yeah.
14.
Oh my God. That's crazy. So for 14 years, I had the same ringtone. There's a hint.
Oh boy. Probably like 5 years ago. No, not 5, 3. I don't really have a ringtone anymore.
Yeah.
I just muted everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got a great voicemail. Leave me a voicemail.
Yeah. I rarely have my ringtone on as well. It's usually on vibrate, but just in case, my ringtone for, my God, 14 years basically was the Gordon, his little mini speech at the end of The Dark Knight. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. And I had that. And now I have this. So Ryan's going to call me.
Okay.
And I'm going to hold it up to the mic.
It's coming. Stand by. It didn't pick up very well.
Well, then I'll say what it is.
Okay.
It's, they think I'm hiding in the shadows.
Okay, I thought I heard shadows.
Nice. But I am the shadow. So there you go. Okay.
So you're going to tell everybody to call you and you're not going to answer.
So when I did that, I went to announce to Rachel. I said, hey, call me real quick. And I had, she goes, why? I'm standing right here. I said, just call me. She rolls her eyes super hard. Like
she should know by now what's going on.
And calls, and I'm, I look like a 5-year-old, and it comes on, they think I'm hiding, and I'm just like this, super huge grin on my face, and she rolls her eyes again, like it looks like she has, like, Batman had white lenses on. That's how far in the back of her head, So, and then I went to Jake and whoever else, call me, listen to this.
She went to your neighbors.
That's all I needed.
Real quick.
So anyway, okay. We talked about the Blu-ray. We talked about the Art of the Batman giveaway number 2. I've asked one question. Any miscellaneous Batman news you can think of? Are you listening to that new David Goyer radio series?
I listened to the first one, and I don't know what I think.
Okay.
It's different.
Lots of different, a lot of changes to the Batman mythos, right?
I don't want to spoil or say anything either. I'd say, sure, check it out. There's 4 available right now. I've listened to 1. I don't know how many there's going to be. So, of course, I'm not going to say, like, I don't like it and I don't know what's going on. Hey, a lot of times for a 10-part series or whatever, you don't exactly know what's going on in the first episode, but yeah, the first one, I was like, I don't know. But I'll keep listening.
I have not listened to it. So,
okay. But yes, it's pretty unexpected.
So this is like the 3rd one of these kind of things with Batman, right?
Is there?
You had
I've
one
heard, like, Marvel's done a pretty good job of doing.
Okay.
So the second, the audio adventures that HBO Max did last year.
Yeah.
They released the first 2 of those on Apple Podcasts.
That was the one that was
it.
And then there was the one. What's the one that Jeffrey Wright? Is it the Jeffrey Wright voices Batman? That's it.
Yeah. I don't think he was Batman. He was just he was a narrator.
He voiced Batman.
He voiced Batman.
He was narrator and what is it? That Marvel What If or?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think there have been like 3 of these. This is the 3rd one, but this one that David Goyer is producing, writing. I have not listened to it, so I have not really listened to any of them, to be honest. I can't say why I haven't. It just, I don't know. I'm not much of I'm more of a reader and watcher, I guess.
Yeah, and
a listener.
So if I can't listen to it on like a podcast app, and I know you could pull up HBO Max, but I didn't listen to all the audio adventures one because they released the first 2 episodes on podcasts, but then the other was, or the rest of them were on HBO Max, the service
Okay.
itself. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have my phone open on HBO Max while I'm walking around doing stuff. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And you said comics. I am making my way and going through and reading my Neil Adams collections right now because of obviously the late passing of him. I haven't read these in a while. They're called Batman Illustrated. There's 3 volumes, and it's got his Batman work in them, and those have been pretty great to revisit, including your story,
Batman
Joker's 5-Way Revenge.
Yeah, Batman number 251, 1973. Yes, sir. All right. Okay, I think this is that'll do it. Let's get into some mailbag questions. Now, last time we were going to do this,
Pete and I talked too much, so we couldn't even get into it.
it was well, we had that news. The Batman is getting, the sequel announcement was released. We talked about that, so I didn't have time to answer any questions. So now we do. So here we go. I'll answer some mailbag questions from BOF readers and listeners. Let's see. Patrick Johnson at Patty the Bat. Why do you think the Penguin was let go after the Batmobile chase and interrogation scene? He was busted in the middle of a drug deal. Then he and his men shot at everyone, including Gordon. Then he fled the scene. Lots to get in trouble for. Just curious. Honestly, I hadn't thought about that. So do you have a take on that, Ryan?
Get used to it, maybe, in these Batman movies or something. I mean, he's a small fish at that point, considering what they're really looking for.
Yeah, they're looking for the Rat, right?
Yeah.
They think he is, then they realize he's not. And I would also say what comes to my mind immediately is that Gotham's police force is corrupt as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So probably going after the Penguin, who is Carmine Falcone's number one man, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
And Carmine Falcone runs the Gotham police force and is the de facto mayor. I don't think that there would be a mass push by anyone in the police force to go get Oz.
Yeah.
And also with Batman and Gordon, as you mentioned, they are much more interested in going after El Rada Elada.
That part felt like comic bookish to me too, or where we've seen Batman confront these characters in pursuit of a bigger threat.
Yeah.
And it's not like the Penguin's right there killing people.
Yeah.
Or anything, it's like, oh, we find out this is a location for the drops. And then, they leave him handcuffed, like find your own way out of this sort of deal. I feel like we've seen that with Batman before a lot. So,
okay. Was that
I didn't really think about it, but it doesn't bother me.
Is that I know there was a money exchange for one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Selena got one of those bags of money.
Because he yelled, because first he's like, vengeance, you think you can steal my money?
Yeah.
And then he says, Kenzie, get the money. And then Selena takes one of the bags of money.
So was it I need to go rewatch it. I got the money thing, a money exchange. I didn't really get the drug deal aspect, right? That's more drops money.
It got interrupted. I just felt like it was to make that was a spot for the deal of more drops to be made to take to the Iceberg Lounge, paying whoever is running that operation and stuff. But it got interrupted by vengeance.
Yes. Okay, that's what we got. I think we answered that pretty sufficiently, don't you
Hope
think?
there's
Yeah,
Hope
I think I
Patty's pleased.
yeah. All right. Stephen Smith at Batman SCS. Do you know if the Riddler comic is just a one-off or getting a full series? That would be the one that is coming out that's tied into the Batman, part of the Batman universe, and is written by Paul Dano. I do not know. Ryan?
6 issues,
6 issues. Okay.
in which I almost think they said it was bi-monthly, or I always get that confused in that term. Every other month.
Okay.
Not like 6 consecutive months of an issue.
So
it'll take like
a
a year.
year. Okay. All right.
Could be wrong, but I do know it's 6 issues.
Now you bring that up, and I'll think back to the story I wrote when I got the press release. Yeah, 6 issues. Okay. So Ryan says it's going to be every other month, and then it'll last a year. Okay. Well, that's a good way to keep the Batman universe in the news, at least with fans, right? You know,
Yeah.
fans will read it. I'll definitely read it. So there you go. All right, Lucas Wayne at L_Wayne2. I've seen quite a few Officer Martinez posts from you, me, during the last days. Is the spinoff confirmed? And then he gives the laugh roll, you know, laughing out loud face. I am quite a fan of Officer Martinez. If you have not noticed, Ryan, it's going to be my new signature post on Twitter. So if it annoys anybody, I don't really, you know, whatever.
I think you're gonna grow a mustache.
I'm thinking about it.
Get that wardrobe, and that's your Halloween costume.
Yep. That'd be there. You go. All right. For he has a real question. This is one of the ones I'm not good at. And okay, how would you rank? I don't say I'm not good at it. I just don't like it all that much personally. How would you rank the different live action Batman actors now? I guess after the Batman, which is a bit unfair because we have yet to see Pattinson's full arc as Batman.
But first, before we get to that question, Ryan, let me take a moment to talk about Athletic Greens. So what is this stuff? What is Athletic Greens? With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotics to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all of these things. AG1 is lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. AG1 contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. It also supports better sleep quality and recovery, and it supports mental clarity and alertness. So how much is this going to cost? AG1 will cost you less than $3 a day. It's cheaper than getting all your different supplements yourself. You're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/emerging. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/emerging to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
I can say something good about every single actor who's played Batman in live action. Now, do I have some that are my favorite over others? Of course. Ryan, your thoughts?
I can't rank, even though that's the question. But yeah, I'm with you, and I can say something good about each one. Surprisingly, Kilmer would be kind of hard for me to say a lot of good about, and I wouldn't necessarily say bad. I just kind of felt like he's there, and it's tough for me to say that because I loved Batman Forever as a kid and stuff. But He didn't leave much of an impression on me.
Okay.
Clooney looked like he could have been a good Bruce Wayne,
Mhm.
and he fit the movie that he was in.
Yeah.
But then I kind of feel like that's my quote unquote negative, and so then West, Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson, all of them, I would say, are pretty damn good.
I mean, look, I'll say my Batman is this
Mr.
one,
West,
is Adam West, because
pure West.
he's he's my first Batman, and so he's my Batman for historic reasons, personal reasons. Christian Bale probably was my fave. I mean, and I'm talking about the depiction of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight trilogy resonates with me. Love Michael Keaton. Really like Robert Pattinson, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was great. And it's this depiction, this interpretation of Batman and Bruce Wayne is up my alley. I mean, even more than the Dark Knight trilogy. And that's not saying anything. I hate when people, you don't have to crap on what came before just because something new is out, So I don't want to sound like even going anywhere near that territory.
We're fortunate that most, in your
Yeah.
case, you've even said something good about all, but I'd say like most Batman depictions / Bruce Wayne depictions have been pretty damn good.
Yeah. I mean, I do not like Batman v Superman, but I had a conga line going when Ben Affleck was cast and while everybody else was having a meltdown.
That was the best. That was the best thing that you had to say about the movie was Affleck's performance.
I thought it was one of his best performances as an actor.
Yeah.
I may not like the depiction of Batman,
The story that they went with for him and
or
stuff.
the story, but I thought he did a really, really great job as an actor in that film. So, and I like the cowl on
Short
the
ears?
bat suit. I do. I liked it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Jim Lee type thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference of long ears or short?
No, not really.
I'm just like, how does it look all together? Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a preference either.
I don't. I remember as a kid, the ears in the 70s, man. That's where I really cut my teeth on the comics were long ears,
Yeah.
I thought that the 89 suit,
Mhm.
Keaton's suit was like a really awesome depiction of what the 70s and 80s suit in the comics looked like, except that, except it's all black, which I like. But the ears and I remember as a kid, teenager, and the first time I would see the shorter ears, it was kind of jarring. And then I got where I kind of like that, So yeah, it doesn't matter. I wasn't a big fan of like Kelly Jones, where they're like 10 feet long
Mm-hmm.
in the comics, but it doesn't matter. What does it, I'm like you. What does it look like in context with the whole suit,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if there's a Batman costume, movie suit I haven't really liked. I wasn't a big fan of the freeze, the silver and bluish
Oh yeah.
freeze suit,
Mm-hmm.
which was basically the sonar suit from Forever.
But the Funko's fun. Of that one.
Oh, I had the yes. I love the Funko.
Yeah. But in live action, I agree. When they all go to that, it's like,
That was just
no.
too. I mean, it's too silly. But the Funko's awesome. But I can't say that I absolutely hate that suit. It's like it would be at the bottom of my list if I had to rank them.
Mhm.
but all the suits I've liked. So,
Yeah.
I can say something else good about Batman v Superman. The suit, I like the big Frank Miller looking bat emblem on the chest.
I've said this. I may have said this to you before. Affleck looks like he has no neck, like in some promotional shots and stuff in that suit. It just seems very like, it kind of smushed together. And I always thought, I'm like, God, that holds back from this suit. Like really,
Yeah.
that holds back this suit for me is that it kind of hides the neck at times. And it's,
Yeah, they probably could have slimmed the neck down. I never got why they I mean, he had the muscle suit was part of the, the costume when he's supposed to be wearing some sort of Kevlar type cloth looking material, and he got jacked up for the role. I think they went maybe a little bit too far with want to go with that, that super blocky, huge Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns aesthetic. It came off looking a little bit puffy, but but Affleck at different angles from this. There's some really good shots.
Some really good profile shots.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
in that cowl that are like, yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah,
but for me, so with that, they're trying to sell the not spandex look, but definitely much more of comics where it's not armor.
Yeah,
and for me in live action preference, armor.
Yeah.
Because I think as unrealistic as it is that a man could go out and fight every single night, it's even more unrealistic to do that without armor.
Yeah.
Like
why I love the Batman costume. Probably because they went for the realistic aspect of it. And I'm a huge fan of Lee Bermejo. Did you know that? I was a big fan of Lee.
No, never knew that. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm learning a lot today.
And I like his depiction of Batman, and that is very clearly 100% fact, inspiration. Lee's interpretation of Batman on the Batman suit. I like that they went with the kind of the cloth Kevlar, military suit look, but it's still he had armor pieces in areas where he would need it for protection. So yeah,
I think in comics you take because I mean it can work too. I just feel like in live action, I'm not too picky either.
I mean, if you wanted to say what's the most quote unquote comic book accurate bat suit ever, it's freaking Adam West, man.
Adam West, yeah.
Period. And in context to that series and the time it came out, it works. That would not work. That would not work today. Not in a movie. It's supposed to be you're supposed to take serious on a certain level. So when people say that we want a comic accurate suit, well, you better not. Sometimes you wish for, and what you wish for you don't like. You know what I mean? So anyway, okay, I'm going to throw in another trivia question before I get to the next.
Bring it on.
Question: who voices Batman in the Batman Arkham Origins video game? Who voices Batman and Bruce Wayne, of course, in the Batman Arkham Origins video game? Underrated as hell game, in my opinion.
I love that game.
It's good.
I totally agree that it's underrated. Batman Christmas Eve night, snowy Gotham, meets Joker for the first time.
Yeah.
Music is awesome. His suit, that's my favorite of all the Arkham suits. Love that freaking suit. God, love that game.
I wish they'd make it so you can play it on PS4.
I know. They're gonna start phasing PS4 out though.
Yeah.
Which is too bad. Because I don't need to buy it I don't need to buy a PS5.
This is probably a question for Mike and Ramey. You may know. So are we getting to the point, or we're going to get to the point where they're not going to make any PS4 games at all, and someone would have to upgrade if you want to play anything new?
I think we've still got a little bit of wiggle room. So like this next Madden that's coming out, that'll come out in August.
Yeah.
That'll probably be PS4, like some sports games. But I mean, I'm sure you saw with the announcement of that new Gotham Knights game that has been delayed. They announced yesterday it's not going to be available for PlayStation 4, and I don't know, is it Xbox One?
Okay.
That's the last model.
Okay.
So yeah, when that comes out, it's going to be for the new systems, not the old ones. And so that's kind of, to me, that signifies, okay, we're in the beginning of the end.
Yeah. I don't play a ton of video games anymore, but I mean, I will throw in those Arkham games and play.
Mm-hmm.
I do get Madden every year. So I got the Spider-Man game, that not the Miles Morales, but the other one, the first one that came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff I still get, from time to time. All right. Question. Here, this is from Matthew P. He is one of the members. This is from the Facebook group. Here's an odd one. We all know that Batman Forever was originally written for Keaton with Rene Russo as Chase Meridian, but what if Kilmer stayed on for Batman and Robin? How would that film have been different? What do you think we'd be saying about it now, and how would it have been different? I don't think it would have been different at all, to be honest, based on what I know.
It's hard to imagine, but yeah, I don't see apparently the direction the movie went was not because of who played Batman.
Yeah. It was, I mean, Joel Schumacher came on not too long after Batman and Batman Returns. Let's see. This is kind of this is different layers to this. So Forever was written for, yes, it was originally written for Keaton, and with Rene Russo was cast, and they even made suits for Keaton. And then he walked away. And then there's the Kilmer aspect for Batman and Robin. I don't think Forever would have been different if Keaton had stayed, and I don't think that Batman and Robin would have been different if Kilmer had stayed.
Do you think there'd have been more of a Red Diary cut with Keaton? I think he'd have some power to where if that's what he signed on to do, that he'd have pushed more for that.
Maybe.
We'll never know, of course. So we don't know anything.
I'm not sure. I know. I'll say this because people say, well, and I would love to see a cut, and I call it the Red Diary cut because the Schumacher cut is what we got on the big screen back in 1995. He was very proud of that film, period. And people tend to forget that movie was a huge success, very popular in 1995. But I would like to see that was cut. That was, look, that's 95. It not only is it a product of its time in terms of the popcorn nature of it, it's also a product of its time where you got to keep this thing, less than 2 hours, and then Batman Forever, less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
And
2 hours tops-ish.
Yeah. And the idea of a superhero movie or any, going into, 2:15 or 2.5 is, that just wasn't done. 2 hours and 2 minutes, Batman Forever. So with the Red Diary cut, you're probably looking at at least another 15 to 20 minutes. So there was that was cut for time purposes, but it would have made it changed the tone of the film. I don't think
Isn't that funny now? Because if a superhero movie comes in now and it's under 2 hours, there's like a cause of panic. Like, oh, it's not good. It's bad.
That's true. I mean, yeah.
And I'm not talking about, Justice League like that at all. I'm saying the whole superhero genre. It just kind of feels like if the movie is under 2 hours, it is like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is bad news.
That's funny. Yeah. I don't think either would have been remarkably different. I think if Kilmer had stayed, and that's kind of a mutual agreement thing between Schumacher and Kilmer. I just think that we would have got Batman and Robin would have been Batman and Robin, regardless.
There's no Earth that does not have Batman and Robin.
That's true. That is true. All right, Steve C, still in the Facebook group. Hello, BOF. One thing I really enjoy about the Nolan trilogy is how each film is seemingly in a different genre, with each film having its own distinctive tone. Do you hope to see a similar trait in Reeves' series of Batman films? For example, The Batman is a very dark and gritty detective noir drama. Do you wish for the sequel to be in a similar vein, or do you hope to see a significant shift in tone and or style? Good question, Steve.
Give me a musical.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You read my mind.
Doing a dance number.
Yes, I want a live action version of The Music Meister. You seen that episode of Batman Brave and the Bold? Yeah.
No, because I don't like musicals. I think I started that one and I was like, not today.
Oh man.
One of these days I will. But I've actually brought that up to you, something similar before, because it's tricky to me, this worked so well. Matt Reeves, lifelong fan. As far as I can tell, I'll ask him when I have lunch with him this week.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Put everything he could that he's wanted into this Batman movie. Okay, now come back and do more. Well, I put everything that I've wanted in the last one. So what do I do for the next one?
Yeah.
Everybody liked that one so much. So how much of it do we have roll over, and how much do we change?
I don't think the detective aspect of Batman is not going to.
Detective stories just work.
I think they're going to leave.
Look at Law and Order.
Yeah.
Every week is a news case.
I think that they'll leave. I think Batman will be more of a detective, like he was in the Batman in these films. I think that the dynamic between Gordon and Batman will progress and continue as partners in that regard. I
think you can change the look a little. You can change the look a little bit, but I mean, we all looked at that Gotham too.
Yeah.
So it's a good challenge for him, and I'm glad I don't have to figure it out. It's got to be same but different.
I mean, you can also say that the Batman was also had a little bit of a horror movie, a little bit of a Western, But yeah, I mean, it's a detective movie. It's noir, first and foremost. So we'll see what the story.
Yeah. What the story calls for.
Yeah, there'll be some, maybe some other aspects.
Multiple genres. I think it's safe for us to predict multiple genres yet again.
Yep. I agree. All right. Jared Ray. Can we do a round of fan casting for sequels just for fun? Mad Hatter, Ventriloquist, Harvey Dent, anyone please. I am not good at fan casting, nor do I ever really try that on Batman on film. So
yeah, I'm sorry that I'm boring because I suck at fan casting. Yeah, it wouldn't even be fun for you to wait for me to come up with names.
Because I am not a genius like Christopher Nolan or Tim Burton or Matt Reeves to think of I'm going to cast Robert Pattinson as Batman, or Michael Keaton would be a great Batman. Or
let's remix this question.
Yeah,
and let's just say a couple of characters that would be cool to pop up in let's character cast.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Harvey Dent, just Harvey Dent. I think I've been saying that with you for a while. No hints of Two-Face whatsoever. Some kind of like cold open with Mad Hatter at like an old amusement park or something that has some sort of Alice in Wonderland setup. I think that could be creepy as hell. And then as a really random pick, Crazy Quilt.
Yeah,
There you go. Let's see those characters.
I'm with you on Harvey. I think, with Coulson having his head blown off by the Riddler, and there's clearly going to be an opening in the DA's office. Maybe Harvey Dent is an assistant DA right now. Who knows? And he'll run for district attorney. Ventriloquist. Yeah, I mean, God, Batman villains are just so good.
He worked in The Imposter.
Yeah. I think that the Arkham show is going to it's going to flesh out this world more.
Yeah.
I think the Penguin show will flesh out the world more. I would bet anything that Maroni shows up either in the Penguin or in the Batman sequel. I bet he gets out of prison because of the shenanigans involved in his case, and his conviction to be thrown out. And then I can so see him, the Penguin being set right after the Batman, and there's this power vacuum now that Falcone is dead, and Maroni coming back and trying to seize power and then put him in conflict with Oz. So I mean, and then that Arkham show, I mean, you can just have villains that are there that we may never see in a sequel or sequels, but they're part of that world,
Yeah.
That's my take. So Jared, I'm sorry. I'm just terrible at it. I'm not, like I said, I would never have thought of Heath Ledger as the Joker because I'm not brilliant like Christopher Nolan. So that's my answer. All right. Okay. This is from Fabian, who says, do you think that the new Warner DC leadership will course correct the latest DCEU developments in favor of movies in the same fashion as Joker or the Batman? I really fear that the Flash or Batgirl films end up being wrong idea, especially if the goal is to retcon various universes. What are the chances of the Batman Superman version with the J.J. Abrams project? What are the rumors that Zaslav wants to go back to the whole interconnecting universe? I don't think that's what he said. I think that was misinterpreted when he talked about the structure. I think what he was saying was there needs to be some. Look, we've talked about this, Ryan. DC. There are various DC projects, depending on what they are, be it comic books or animation or live action film, are all under different umbrellas. And I think the idea is to get everything DC under one umbrella so that it's more cohesive. Not that he was wanting everything, it's all got to connect.
Yeah.
That's
the course correcting the first question. What needs course corrected? Because
exactly
DC films have had a nice string of wins of live action films, and leave Marvel part out of it and what Marvel does. Like DC is doing its own thing, and the Flash, apparently there's multiverses. Hey, Crisis on Infinite Earths included multiverses in the 80s in comics and totally reset some things. And how great did that turn out? It turned out pretty damn well. I don't know. It's cool. And I'm not saying that who asked this question is thinking this, but it's cool to just quickly just shit on WB and they don't have a plan, and DC doesn't have a plan and with anything, because they never made an announcement that something's coming, and yet that isn't coming to fruition. So it's like they didn't even say shit but yet because a project that was rumored now, nope, never mind, it's not happening. It's like they get the flack for that. When it's like, but they didn't announce that this was coming. And there's so much stuff that's talked about behind closed doors of, is there something here? Oh, okay, I guess not. And sometimes that gets out, and that makes it seem like they're just a mess. And I don't think so, because the projects that do come to fruition like are successful.
Yeah.
So I don't think that there needs to be course correction on stuff, because there's, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that it's
I can totally
as mess
see
as people think.
I can totally see getting everything DC under one umbrella, so that not that they interconnect, but there's some cohesiveness with that brand under Warner Discovery now. But the Batman shows that these films, the Joker shows that these films that are just standalone or in their own world can perfectly work, even though there have been and will be DC films that are quote unquote connected. Yes, the Flash is going to reset things in that regard. I still don't think that, and I'm pretty sure that I'm right on this, that there's going to be, even the films that connect it, you know, like James Wan is making Aquaman 2, right? That is going to be Aquaman 2. It's not going to set up anything else. It's not going to help set up Wonder Woman 3 and stuff like that. So, and same probably will go for Patty Jenkins doing a third Wonder Woman film or whatever else. Blue Beetle coming. I mean, it's going to be a Blue Beetle movie, right? Batgirl is Batgirl. It's its own movie in its own little world, even though Keaton's Batman is going to be in it, and he's going to, you know, be Batman after the Flash. So, I'm with you. I think that they've done pretty good, man. And look, freaking Peacemaker was a huge hit on streaming. The Suicide Squad got great reviews. Even and I liked it. Even Birds of Prey was reviewed well. You know, so I hope they keep make a good movie. Okay.
Yep.
That's it. All right. Last question. This is from Tan Eugene. With the Batman sequel finally being announced at CinemaCon 2022, is it very likely that Harvey Dent and Scarecrow will appear in the next chapter? I don't know about very likely. I think it's possible.
I like it just pulls out Scarecrow.
Yeah, very likely. I mean, what would make you think that Scarecrow is going to be in this film based on anything in the Batman?
Yeah.
Harvey Dent, yes, you can say there's a spot for Harvey Dent, right?
I feel the same here as I did at Begins when what's his name in Begins gets killed. Then it's like, oh hey, there's a spot open in the DA's office now. Perfect for Harvey Dent. And same thing for here. Oh, Coulson's done. Perfect spot in the DA now.
Yep.
But the Scarecrow part, I mean, I love Scarecrow. Sure, bring him in, but very likely Scarecrow. It's like, oh, do you know something we don't know?
I think that Matt Reeves wants to flesh. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. He's going to flesh out this universe. Wouldn't be shocked that Dr. Crane is in Arkham, you know?
Yeah.
Or he's mentioned as being a professor at Gotham University, or something like that. You know, he's out there. Now, very likely to appear in the sequel.
Very likely.
I don't think so. Dent, I could get on board with being very likely.
Yeah.
But we shall see. All right. We'll finish.
I'm not writing the movie.
No.
So if he's not included, hey. Okay.
No. That's another. Can I give a word of advice? But before I do, okay, let me go with question number 3. I have I still have 3 questions before we get out of here, and I'm trying to get
Uh-oh.
us out of here. Name the comic. Question number 3. Name the comic book that featured Batman saying the following on the cover.
Uh-oh.
I must, Robin. I must wear a different colored Batman costume each night. Name the comic book. So the comic book and issue that featured Batman saying the following on the cover. I must, Robin. I must wear a different colored Batman costume each night. Here's my advice to everybody. Don't write the Batman 2 in your head. Do not, again, let me repeat. Do not write the sequel to the Batman in your head over these next 2 or 3 years while it is in development, because you will only set yourself up for disappointment. You with me, Ryan? You with me on that?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yep. Because then you end up, the movie can feel like a disappointment just because it didn't follow what you had in your head. Hey, they're the screenwriter. He's writing it. He's gonna write what he thinks is a good story. So I don't know.
So it's not a cop. I'm not trying to cop out when people ask me what characters would you like to see, what villains do you want to see, who you want to see. When I say I'll let Matt Reeves decide. I want the story to decide what villains will be in it. You know,
what characters? Any of them?
Yeah, because
whoever he uses, cool.
I am following my own advice that I've been giving out for years, not to write these movies in your head. Yeah, do I want to see Harvey Dent in the sequel? Sure. But also we'll say if Harvey Dent fits in the story, then put him in there. You know?
Yep.
So, all right, question number 4. Do you have any advice in general? We could turn this into a self-help show.
Read more Batman comics.
Okay, there you go. I agree with you.
Okay.
Question number 4. To win one of 2 copies, I'll be giving away 2 copies of The Art of the Batman. You'll like this, Ryan. This is for you. In which comic book would you have originally found the story Interlude on Earth 2? In which comic book? What comic book and issue? Okay, not part of a collection. Would you have originally found the story Interlude on Earth 2? Anything you want to plug right there?
Thank you, FJ DeSanto.
Okay. Might want to listen to the new episode of the Batman Book Club.
Yes, sir.
We'll nod to that. Okay. Let's go ahead and plug. I have 1 question left, and I'll do that in between plugs.
Okay. As well, Bill just said, the Batman Book Club. I'm sending him right now as we speak the latest episode 104, Interlude on Earth 2, is available now wherever you listen to podcasts. It will be up on Batman on Film. Follow that podcast at the Batman BC. A lot of really fun stuff lately. Some fun stuff is coming up. Last month was episode 100, where I got to have the one and only Libra Mayo on as guest, and that was a lot of fun. The newest episode is with FJ DeSanto, which was a lot of fun. Hearing him just get to talk about a Batman book that he loves. On Batman on Film proper, I've got reviews, interviews with Libra Mayo, Sean Murphy, writer extraordinaire Tim Sheridan. All that's on Batman on Film. There you go. What did I forget? Nothing.
I think you covered it. All right, last question. Question 5. And you got to answer all 5 questions. And you either email them to me, jet@batman-on-film.com, for the Art of the Batman giveaway. 2 more. We're giving away 2 more. In which Batman film would you have found a character named Thomas Schiff?
Ha.
In which Batman film would you have found a character named Thomas Schiff? And with that, we're going to end this. Thanks to Athletic Greens for sponsoring. If you like what we do here at Batman on Film, patreon.com/Batman on Film. You can become a supporter in that way. You can also check out all the podcasts, the ones that write the Batman Book Club, the stuff that Pete and Eric do, Straight Outta Gotham, and lots of others. at the Batman Podcast Network. Go to Batman on Film, find podcasts. It'll drop down, go. You'll see all the shows. I think that's about all I got. So, any last words, Ryan?
The Batman Blu-ray is coming.
Yes. And yeah,
Knocking on the desk.
I will. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to be checking that out starting today and going through the extras.
Awesome.
And I'll have a review of it coming up here shortly on Batman Film. And we'll be giving away a copy. Around the 24th, somewhere around there. All right, that's all I got. So for Ryan, I'm Bill. Thanks for listening. Announcer Rachel will take us out with more info and plugs and credits. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Batman on Film Social Hour, Jett's official BOF podcast and vlog. Follow Jett on Twitter at Batman on Film. For BOF news only on Twitter, follow at the Batman on Film. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original Batman on Film.